Well, hello, hello, hello. I am back. Another week worth of phenomenal things that happen in life. I trust that you have had a wonderful week. I am Maxine Phillips McKoy, your host for Life Strategies. That's right, Life Strategies. Career is a lifetime, but life is a project. And the way I look at projects that they are temporary. They have a beginning date and they have an end date. So strategies are the same way. We put a strategy in place. It too has a beginning date and an end date. But it's up to us what that end date is all about. So as we talk about life strategies this evening, I want you to think about what's the magical part about your life? What's magical about your life? So I want you to take a moment and let others know that the show is on. Bring them in, have them to be a part of it. Let me know where you are viewing the show from. Let me know that, as a matter of fact, I know many of you are clients and family and friends. Let's make sure that you're able to see the show on Maxine.Phillips.96 or GAMS Unlimited or our diabetes coach. And that's where you can view this broadcast. It has been wonderful coming to you and sharing all of this information with you about life strategies. I have had many guests to come on. They too have shared their information with you about their life strategies and what they put in place in order to help them to move forward. That's what life is all about. It's not being don't stand still. Always have a strategy, a goal, a blueprint, a roadmap, whatever you choose to call it. But it's actions that you are putting in place. I'm sorry, it's a plan that you put in place in order for you to take action. Implementation. Even when you go to training sessions, workshops, seminars, there's learning to take place. But as you learn things, make sure you come back and you implement them. To me, I believe that learning has not taken place until you're able to apply what it is that you have learned. That's correct. So tonight, I'd like to talk to you about a couple things. Let's just discuss this. I'm going to be looking to see what comments that you have put into the comment box to let me know that you're here. The show producer is going to be checking to make sure that all of the links are live so that everyone will be able to see and let me know that you are here. Give me your name. A first name is fine if that's what you want to do. And also tell me what city you're coming from, what state, or even what country. Because this is an international broadcast. It streams to over 200 countries. So I would love to hear what country you are viewing this broadcast on. As I mentioned a few moments ago, that we're going to be talking about a couple things. We're going to be talking about what's the magical part about your life. I want you to share that with me. So I want you to take a moment and put in the comment box what's magical. What do you remember? When I post about me coming on this evening, I had a picture of me out there. Who can tell me what age you think I am on that picture? Oh, you see that young lady with the braids, the long braids in her hair? Share with me how old you think I am. Share with me how old you think I am. That's right. And I'll tell you in a moment after I see who's guessed the age. And you just never know. That could be very much a surprise for you by telling me what age you think I am. But the whole purpose of me showing that picture to you is because at that age, that's when I started seeing where it is that I saw myself I wanted to go and be and do, explore the world. That's where the magical is for me, is exploring and being aware, learning new things, positioning myself where I'm uncomfortable with, growing, because that's what we want to do. We always want to grow. And as I saw myself as a little girl growing and becoming the young woman or the woman that I saw myself growing into, I created a strategy. My strategy was all about journaling. Oh, at that time they called it a diary. The one that you had the lock and key. How many of you had those? All right, tell me, show me, show of hands. How many of you had one of the diaries where you had to lock it and you trust that your parents didn't find it or your brother sister didn't find it and they wouldn't read it so that you would not have to be embarrassed about what you wrote in it? Oh, yeah. I still journal. To this day, I journal. And I even encourage my clients to journal because journaling is so rewarding. It's so refreshing. It's so renewing. It's restoring. You have an opportunity to write about yourself to yourself. And many times you end up writing a story. Let's face it, those stories very well could turn into a book, into a movie, or into a play. You just never know. So if you're not journaling, I encourage you to journal. We'll talk about journaling a little bit more later. The other thing I want you to think about is that not only did you see, not only did I see where I wanted to go, but I had to follow. When I wrote those plans down, I had to follow them. I had to follow them so that I would know what it was that I was putting in place to do. Now, when I say follow them, that means at that age, before I turned 16 and 17, I was creating goals for myself. Little did I know that here today I sit and I'm talking to you as one of the goals that I had created for myself as a little girl. So, Maxine Pearl, that pearl is about you have to dive deep, deep into that and find that oyster. And then that oyster has cultivated that pearl. And that's what life is all about. We're cultivated through our experiences, through our awareness, through our trials and tribulations. But little did I know, as that girl, as I was being cultivated to this point in time in life, that I would have an opportunity to share my platinum strategies, my platinum nuggets with you and with the world. Little did I know that the trials and tribulations that I had to encounter were not only for me, but it was also to be able to share with others as I coach them, as I mentor them, as I create workshops for organizations or for the general population and invite them to a workshop. Little did I know that all the heartaches that I have gone through, again, they were not just for me, but they were for me to be able to share with others because they too have experienced some of those same heartaches. Little did I know that those same trials and tribulations and even tragedies that I encountered, little did I know that I would be using the death of a mother and two sisters or the death of a husband to help others to go through some of their trials and tribulations of losing a loved one. Oh, little did I know that it's all about putting strategies in place. And little did I know that God would grant me this platform where I can bring guests on that they too can share their strategies with the world. They can share their platinum nuggets with the world. They can share their wisdom, all the things that they know, have learned, have perfected, have become the expert at, that they can share with others so that we all together can help one another move forward and not be stuck, not become complacent, not become stagnant in where we are in life. Oh, yes, life deals us so much lemons, but it's up to us what we do with them. Oh, we can make a lemon pie, we can make lemonade. I even have a mixture that I make when I become ill that has a lemon ingredient in it that can help me overcome an illness. So there's many ways that you can take those lemons and make it positive. It does not have to be sour or a negative. Oh, little did I know that as that little girl, 8 years of age, who wanted to play school with my brothers and sisters, who encouraged them to play school with me, and they allowed me to be the school teacher so that I could share and impart my wisdom. Oh, little did I know that that would continue to be cultivated through my entire life to be doing what I'm doing today. So, see, you never know that when you're going through those trials and tribulations, who the lesson is actually going to be for. So, yes, I wrote those goals, I wrote the vision. I made it as plain as I possibly could at that age, but I never lost hope. I never lost hope in believing that I could be what I had written at 8 years of age. Because when I was given that vision that I could be a teacher, I didn't know what that was going to lead into. So a strategy is when you write it down and you can bring clarity around it and you can understand the steps that you need to take. Oh, little did I know that every workshop, every seminar, every promotion that I received was adding to my growth. So when it came that point in time that God decided that he was ready to give me the assignment of a lifetime, and that's to be the business owner of GAMS Unlimited. Oh, little did I know that I would be transforming generations and I would be leaving legacies. Yes. So I say to you, this life strategy show and platform that I have been given a privilege of having, I want you to consider being a guest so that you can share the strategies that you put in place. You can always reach out to me at Maxine at gamsunlimited.com and let me know that you're ready to share your story. Let me know that you're ready to share your strategies that you have put in place that have enabled you to move forward in life, that has provided a walkway, a blueprint, a roadmap that you're now doing what you've been called to do. Oh, little did I know that as I was obeying those instructions that I was giving, that I would then be given the platform, what I'm doing today, what I love to do. As they say, what's your passion? What's your purpose? What are you called to do? I challenge you right now to write those things down, to take a moment, to reflect, to revisit yourself at the age of 8. What were you thinking at that time? What were you doing? What did you even have the desire to do? And then I ask you to compare that to where you are right now. You know, they say, oh, out of the mouth of a babe, there are great things that can be told if we only take a moment to listen. That's what our youth want us to do, is to listen to them. So see, it doesn't take you to become an adult in order to put a strategy in place. All we have to do is start where we are and use what we have. There's no right or wrong way when it comes to who you are and who are you going to become. At this point in life, I have deemed myself as the levelless woman. That's right, the levelless woman. And levelless means there are no levels. There are no levels that I need to aspire to acquire. As long as I am continuously succeeding on my own terms, I am successful. Oh, that's a statement, right? But it's a movement as well. is a movement in the mindset, is a shift in the way we think. Because we've been taught and we've been conditioned to think as though we must climb a ladder in order to be successful, to climb and to reach certain positions or being promoted. But if you take upon yourself to define what success is for you, don't let anyone else define it for you. You must define it for yourself. My definition of success is to continue to succeed on my own terms. And I've done that even at the age of 8. Yes, at the age of 8. When I would write those goals in that diary, or I would write them on a sheet of paper if I did not have my diary with me, and I will place them in the back of my Bible. Oh, for some reason, that gave me joy just being able to fold that piece of paper and put it in the back of the Bible. And then when I would be in church on Sunday and I'll open that Bible and you know how you're paying attention and you're not paying attention. And then I would look in the back of that Bible and I would find my notes and I read the goals. And it's like, oh, I've accomplished it. I had actually achieved it. That's when it started dawning on me the importance of writing the goals, making them clear. So as I read them and I revisited them, that I would end up accomplishing them. So that's a platinum nugget right there in itself. Write your goals and make them clear. If you're unsure of how to even write a goal, there is such a thing as called a SMART goal. That's right. You have to be specific in what it is that you see yourself accomplishing. And then the M stands for how are you going to measure it? Are you going to measure it in days, in months, in years, in quarters, in money? How are you going to measure it? And then the A stands achievable. Have you written the goal in a form where you can achieve it, or is so far-fetched that you would never achieve it? And if that is the case, you can have a long-term goal and then you can have a short-term goal. And those long-term goals, you break them down into manageable goals so that you can achieve them. So a 5-year goal could be 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year. And then that fifth year, you can start breaking it down into months. After you break it out into years, you break it down into months. And then you do 1 month at a time. Because some individuals like to achieve things faster when others don't mind taking 5 years to achieve it. And then the R, is it realistic? Is it relevant? Is it relevant to who you are? Is it relevant to what you see yourself doing in life? Is it a realistic goal? Does it complement what your values are? Does it complement your beliefs? Does it complement what you've been called to do, your passion and your purpose? And then the T is time bound. Have you put a time on when you're going to accomplish the goal? And it might not be the whole goal. Remember, it could be the long-term goal or it could be the short-term goals. It could be the monthly goal or it could be the annual goal. How are you breaking it down? So that brings me back to life strategies. Establishing goals for yourself is definitely a strategy that needs to be done. As I indicated earlier, career is a lifetime, but life is a project because life too has a beginning date and an end date. And everything that I'm talking about when it comes to life strategies is that dash. Oh, whenever you see that birth date or a death date written on something, usually there's a dash that separates it. And I always say, you are the dash. That dash is all about you and your brand and who you are. So that's why here at Level Less, and Level Less is a division of GAMS Unlimited. And Gams Unlimited is a parent company where we do life and career coaching. We do leadership and we do organizational development, whether it's one on one or whether it's group or whether it's team. We customize whatever it is that you need because it's all about you achieving your goals. It's all about you being levelless so that you can achieve on your own terms and you can advocate for yourself and you know your worth. Oh, you know your worth more so than anyone else. And worth is not always in dollars. Worth is in respect. Worth is in integrity, having the character and being the person that you say you are. So there's so many great nuggets. I trust that you are writing these down tonight so that you can let me know what it is that you have written for yourself. You know, I asked a question when I first came on. It said, "What is the magical part about your life?" I want you to be able to share that with me. I want you to be able to share that with me. All right, let me see. I look like maybe we might make sure that you're able to see me on the main page. And that's where you're probably gonna see me on the main page. All right, that's under Maxine.Phillips.96 and also GAMS Unlimited, or go to Leveless Co on Facebook. And you should be able to see me there as well. You know, the other thing that's going to be happening is that I am going to be celebrating my birthday. I'm going to be celebrating my birthday on next Monday evening. I'm going to be celebrating it here, right here on the Life Strategy Show. And I invite you to join me so that you can be a part of the birthday celebration. I want you to be able to be a part of the festivities. I want you to take part in the questioning that's going to be asked. I want you to take part in the trivia that's going to be done so that you can be just as engaged as the audience that's going to be on Zoom with me. So I want you to to be a part of that. I also asked a question earlier about what do you remember about yourself as a kid? Think about when you were 8 years old. What do you remember about yourself? What did you enjoy doing? What games did you enjoy playing? What books did you enjoy reading? And what books did you read? What was your favorite subject in school? And the reason why I'm asking these questions is, believe it or not, all of this leads to what you're going to be doing as you move into your career or into your profession. It also reveals what you have a love for and the passion that you have around it. So, parents, I want you to pay attention to what your children do in their spare time. I want you to pay attention to what the little ones do when they're sitting in the floor and they're playing. What do they gravitate towards? A book to read? A toy to take apart? And to us, we might think that they're destroying the toy, but we'll turn around and look back around and they have put the toy back together. That could be an indicator that that's your engineer. Or do you find themselves getting up and singing and dancing? They might not know the words to the song, but they have the beat. That might be your musician. So, do they have a love for coming into the kitchen and wanting to help you prepare the food, taste it, mix it, so that they can understand what's going into it? Oh, they can start at an early age. I used to let my little ones at 2 and 3, stir the cake batter. Oh, yeah, they made a mess. Let's face it, yes, they're going to make a mess. But there's nothing wrong with them going on and trying it, because that's experimental learning. That's hands-on learning. That's kinesthetic learning. And then you find out if they're oral learners, auditory learners, by you giving them the instructions and waiting on them to do what it is that you ask them to do. And then once they become of age where they can read, then they might be a verbal learner who loves to read. But see, these are strategies. These are strategies that you as a parent can put in place that you can pay attention to. So one of the things that we do on this show is talk about the different strategies that are helpful for us and that are helpful for you and things that we have tried. So yes, these are some of the things that we do. And Level Less again is about allowing them to achieve on their terms as well, even as a youth. Let them explore while you're exploring. And sometimes we can remember how we were not allowed to explore and we pouted because we couldn't explore. So let's not be guilty of not allowing our own youth to try things out. And are they going to make a mistake? You darn tootin' they're going to make a mistake. We made mistakes, so you know they're going to make a mistake. But it's the coaching from the mistake, the coaching opportunities, the learning, the lessons learned. So, what magic do you remember when you were a young lady or a young man? What magic do you remember now as an adult? Joy, happiness, fulfillment, satisfaction? Are you identifying with those words? Are they bringing a smile to your face? Are they bringing a story to your mind? And they're good thoughts that you can reminisce as a kid growing up? Oh, there's so many things that I did as a kid growing up in Yukon, West Virginia. And one of the things that I remember doing is helping in our garden and having to pick the vegetables. Now that sounds like it's a chore. But see, we always took a salt and pepper shaker with us. Not separately. We put the salt and the pepper in the same shaker. We have to see, we were smart thinkers then, be efficient with it. And of course, we had to pick the cucumbers and the tomatoes. And yes, we had corn, we had greens, we had green beans, we had all those beautiful vegetables. But my favorite part was going to the tomato patch. Yes, and picking the tomatoes. Of course, and then taking them and wiping them off on your leg, and taking a bite in it to get it started. And then using that salt and pepper shaker to put on it. And then you would sit there and have yourself a nice, big, beautiful red tomato, fresh out of the garden. Oh, those were the good days. Now I go to the store and I have to purchase the tomato. So see, it's magical when you start reminiscing about things that you did as a child coming up. And you ask yourself, how can I start implementing some of these things as a child to go back and do some of these things now as an adult? Because many of us miss those childhood days. And of course, not everything was pleasant. And I know with everybody, not everything was pleasant. But look for the good. Look for the positives. And then how can you take those same moments that you remember and maybe mentor individuals now? Give back. Be a servant leader. Share your wisdom. Share your knowledge. Even come on this platform and share your platinum nuggets with the world. You see, the world needs each and every one of us. We can't hide our abilities. We must use those abilities. They were given to us at birth, and they were meant to be shared. They're not meant for you to leave this earth with them within you. GAMS Unlimited is about transforming generations and leaving legacies. Transforming generations and leaving legacies. Whenever you coach, you mentor, or you share your knowledge and your wisdom with others. You're transforming generations because you never know who will use that information, take it back, impart it into themselves, and then implement it and begin to share it with others. Oh, as a little girl, and me teaching my sisters and brothers. And then as a young adult, I taught Sunday school. I would work on what they call those Bible studies, and then vacation Bible school for youth. And then I would move on into the community college and be a part of the All College Council, where we did international days and we shared about cultures of the cuisine, the authentic costumes, and the clothing in which they wore. So you shared all of that great information. And then as an adult, I get a chance to share the platinum nuggets with the world, with individuals, with clients, with customers, with organizations. So I have touched millions. I do not even know the number in which I have transformed generations, because all it takes is that one person to take it back into their household and start teaching it to others. It's beautiful. So I say to you that you have a lot of this information within you. You can start sharing it. You can start helping the world to see what you have to offer. You can start volunteering. There's so much that's needed out here. There's so many youth who need us. And there's so many adults who also, we need each other. We coaches need each other. That's right. There's enough people in this world for everyone. So there's no such thing as we need to be in competition with one another. Don't let your knowledge stay with you. Share it with the world. So I challenge you to write or to type in at least one magical moment that you can remember as a young person growing up, age 8 to 15, a magical moment, a magical moment that helped you to put a strategy in place that perhaps you still use today. Those moments are magical because they grow and they grow and they grow. And how have you taken that magical moment? How have you used it to share with others? How have you implemented it now in your life? How are you even using it in your business or in your profession? And what were some of the results of it, of sharing that magical moment or sharing that story? How many of you journal? Have you journaled? How many have you journaled about that magical moment? And how many of you are actually reminiscing about it now? If this is you, say, "This is me. I remember that magical moment." You don't have to tell the whole story, but just tell me about when and what was magical about it. And if you don't want to share it on the Facebook in the comment, then send it to me, Maxine at gamsunlimited.com, and let me read about it. I would love to hear about your magical moment. And also on my website, if you go to the website, levellessco.com, levellessco.com, you will have an opportunity to receive my ebook on making journaling a part of your lifestyle. Oh, journaling is so powerful. I just cannot stress that enough. So treat yourself to that ebook, but also treat yourself to journaling. Treat yourself to writing your goals and treat yourself to putting a timeline with those goals so that you can accomplish it, you can achieve it. And you see, there's one thing, a strategy that I put in life, and that's that you keep your resume up to date at all times. That's a strategy that you always want to keep in place because when an opportunity presents itself, you need to be ready. So that's another strategy that you can put in place. So by putting these strategies in place, that's where you can, use your imagination, you can be creative, and also that's where many times we find peace, we find joy, we find happiness, we find fulfillment. So see, one of the things that we do here at Level is we empower individuals to understand their purpose. We empower you to create that strategy. We empower you to understand how to implement the plans that you have put in place, to take action, to schedule it, to be organized with it. Or our clients have made 180-degree changes in their lives. It's so beautiful when I hear a client say, I love what I'm doing. I never thought I would be doing this, but I absolutely love it. So see, your happiness is our happiness. It's not the other way around. And it's all about you. And that's what life should be about. When you're helping someone else and you're a servant leader and you're serving, it's about the person that you're serving. It's not about what's in it for me. So the life strategies, the platinum nuggets that we drop on this platform is for you. It's for you to be able to take back, implement, make the necessary changes as needed so that you're succeeding on your own terms, that you're able to advocate for yourself because you know your worth. Removing those levels. You're no longer in competition with yourself. And you're definitely not in competition with anyone else. Oh, that's a good feeling in itself. It's like, shh, I just shedded a level of stress. Because all it takes is for me to believe me. Say that to yourself. All it takes is for me to believe in me. Say it out loud. I believe in me. You're in the house by yourself, shout it out. I believe in me. The universe hears you. The law of attraction is there. So claim that job that you just put a resume in for. Claim that promotion that you're seeking. Claim that increase that you know is getting ready to happen. So it's the law of attraction. Claim it, believe it, own it, possess it. You're in control. Oh, the sky is not the limit. I know we hear all the time that the sky is the limit, but I beg to differ. Because here at GAMS Unlimited and Levelers, we know that the sky is not the limit. So we do not limit ourselves because we have been given innate abilities, God-given abilities to reach our destiny because we saw where it was that we wanted to go. We know that we possess the knowledge, the skills, and abilities and we believe in ourselves. And because we believe in ourselves, then we can put that strategy in place, that plan, that roadmap in order to achieve what we believe. And then we can live the life that we know that we're so deserving of, that we must believe. So, as I'm talking a little bit more about what we're going to be doing on Monday, the 25th, and that's the magical day in a magical way, because it's my birthday. It's my birthday, and I want to celebrate it with you. I'm going to celebrate it with the world. So I am inviting you to join me back here on Monday, the 25th at 7 o'clock, so we can have a birthday celebration for the Leveless Woman, Maxine Phillips McKoy. That's right. That's me. Yes, that's me. I know it's a long name, but that's okay. It's me. It's who I am. So as we start talking about the 25th, we have a great, great guest that's going to be on, but you must show up in order to know who they are. I'm going to have friends from my childhood. I'm going to have people from when I was a teenager, let them tell you about who Maxine was, did, what she was about. There's going to be trivia questions that we're going to be asking, and can you answer them? So you just never know, and you want to be on time. And then there will be a little singing along, but unfortunately, we won't be able to actually do that on Facebook. We will be having some Zoom, and those individuals will be able to do some sing-alongs so that we can have some music going. Because, what's a party without music? I'm all about dancing. I love to dance. I have always loved to dance. And so we have to have a little boogie, woogie, woogie going on. So that would be a part of the birthday celebration. And then there would be an invitation for you to come along. Join me on this fantastic voyage for 2022. Hey, life is a journey. We have to continue and keep it moving. So the Life Strategy Show will continue, but it will continue with you in mind. And I want to hear from you on what are some of the things you like to see happening in 2022. What are some of the conversations? Who are some of the guests you would like for me to bring on? And if you would like to be a guest, I invite you to let me know by sending me an email at maxine@gamsunlimited.com. That's Maxine at GAMMS unlimited.com. So we are filling the calendar up for 2022. So don't get left out. Now is the time to act on it. This is October, and we are last quarter of the year. So we have to prepare for 2022. And that's a strategy. Hello, Platinum Nugget. Plan ahead. Use your calendar to plan, to put your dates so that you're not overbooking, and it helps you to stay organized. That's right. So next Monday, October 25th at 7 o'clock, we have the Maxine Pearl's virtual birthday, and the Life Strategy Show is presenting Maxine Pearl. And who is that? I think that's me. Yes, another year. Every day is a new day, and that's how we need to look at it. What did you do this morning that you did not do yesterday? And what are you going to be doing tomorrow that you have not yet done today? The other thing that I say is don't be a procrastinator. There's no need to procrastinate. Do what you can today, because tomorrow is not promised. Oh, I know you've all heard that. I know I'm not telling you anything that you haven't heard, but that's what you need to start doing, is let us know what you're doing. All right, so let's see what else we have for you. All right. Oh, what is your wish? I asked you about your magical moment that you've had as a youth growing up. But now, what are you wishing for? What do you see yourself accomplishing? What goals are you going to be putting in place? I don't want to hear about a New Year's resolution. I want to know, what goal are you going to strive for? What goal are you going to be specific when you write it? Put some measurements against it. It is achievable. You can attain it, and you know by when you're going to complete it. Now, I'm not asking you for 2 or 3 goals. I'm asking you for one, a realistic goal for yourself. It could be health. It could be wealth. It could be family. It could be about helping others. It's about giving your time and attention to an organization. It could be volunteering. It could be mentoring. It could be sponsoring. I'm just throwing some ideas out there. So maybe something is going to stick or pop into your mind and say, oh, this is something that I would like to see myself do. And you don't have to wait to 2022 to get started. Because remember, tomorrow is not promised. So we need to be doing and every day and living every day as though this is the day. This is the day that we need to make good of. Because once this time is gone, you can never get it back. Now, I remember reading in a book called An Enemy Called Average. It says, don't ask time where it went. Tell time where to go. And by telling time where to go is when you're able to put it on your calendar, and then you know how you've spent your time. And it give you an opportunity to look back on to say, how have I used the time in which I've been given while I'm here on this earth? So stand up, stand out, invite yourself to have a seat at the table. And if you're not accepted, create your own table and invite others to have a seat at your table. There's so much in this world for us to do. If we would just only collaborate, partner, we don't have to be solo and do it by ourselves. But then there are some things that you might be given an assignment to do that it is strictly for you. And when there's the assignment given to you, then you need to act on it. And don't be the kind of person that if someone tells you what their wish is, and next thing you know, you've taken their wish and now you're implementing it yourself. Don't be that type of individual. Instead, help them implement the assignment that they have been given because it was given to them. Oh, what's for you is for you. And we already know that. The universe, when you speak it into the universe, it definitely can happen. The law of attraction. I love it. That boomerang effect. So when you help someone, the universe definitely gives it back to you. So what's your wish? Or what's the magical part about your life right now? What's magical about your life right now? What's bringing that smile to your face? That's transforming generations. That's leaving legacies. Your legacy lives on. So when you're no longer here on this earth, what will others say about you? What will others remember about you? The kind deeds that you've done, the serving that you've done, helping others. How have you given back to this universe? What have you implemented? What have you imparted? Oh, there's so much work for all of us to do. And there's so much room for each and every one of us. So put a life strategy in place for yourself where you're transforming generations and you're leaving your legacies. Therefore, you don't have to worry about what others are saying when you're no longer here. You already know because you're given those accolades while you're here. You're hearing what others are saying. And even on Facebook or LinkedIn, Instagram, you get a chance to read what others are saying when you post. Beautiful, inside and out. Thinks of others, not just herself or himself, that they give back, that they help, they impart, they share. And they're always looking out, what can they do for another person? So treat yourself to some me time as well. That's a life strategy. I know it's Mental Health Month, and we have to take time, some downtime for ourselves. Oh, I've been so busy in these last year helping and volunteering and giving of myself, keeping the business going, keeping the family going, that my body said it was time for me to rest. And I had no choice but to rest for like almost 2-3 weeks solid, to just take downtime and meditate. It was beautiful when I had an opportunity to go to the doctor, make sure everything is working. All the test results came back normal. Lets me know I'm taking care of myself. I just needed some rest. So that's another strategy to put in place. You must also do your annual checkups. You must go to the doctor and have that annual visit, talk to them. That journaling comes in hand when you can write down what it is that you're not feeling good about, the symptoms that you feel. So when you go to the doctor, you're talking to them in real time. And then you have a date, you have symptoms, you have information that you can share with them. So it was so refreshing to be able to have that annual checkup, knowing everything has checked out. You know, you're taking your vitamins, you're eating right, you're exercising. I was not getting enough sleep. So the body said, hey, stop in the name of sleep and rest. So I had no other choice but to rest. Whether I wanted to or not, that was not my choice. My body said, you're going to sleep. And it was like I was sleeping nonstop. And I even had to take time away from even social media for a while, just to allow the body to rest. And the body can repair itself when it's at a resting stage. Just know that. It is meant to repair itself, but you must give it the rest that it needs. Of course, along with the vitamins and nutrients. But go to the doctor and do your annual exam once a year. And this is usually the time of the year that I have all my exams and everything done. I'll be going to get these eyes checked out in the next day to make sure that nothing is going on with the eyes. I am a type 2 diabetic who reversed the type 2 diabetes. But, you know, things can still happen even behind the eyes. And the eyes can tell you so much about your blood pressure and diabetes. So that's another reason why you want to make sure that you put having your annual checkups, making it part of your life strategy. And so the magical part about my life, as I'm closing, is this is the time of the year when I would drive to West Virginia, well, I call it the Appalachian Mountains, and see my mother. Her birthday is the end of September. My birthday is toward the end of October. And every year I would find myself spending my birthday, either her birthday and my birthday together. But see, my mother is in heaven right now. And so I can reminisce about all the times I would drive and have her on the phone listening to me as I'm driving, but not looking at the phone, but having it in the seat, because I would say, I'm on the road again. And she was my sidekick. She was my passenger. And I would say, I'm coming home to see you. But now she's in my heart. She's in my thoughts. And this is where I have an opportunity to just share with her what I'm doing. What I'm doing right here on this earth is a part of her legacy. Because, see, my mother, she was a mentor, she was a coach, and she too journaled. My mother must have taken care of about 200 children in our neighborhood. They lost their parents, but she would always have room for one more. At her table, in the house, the food stretched beyond measures. We always had food. There were, listen, I'm from a family of 12. So you would think we just had enough food for us, but that was not the case. It was almost like those, 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. The food stretched and stretched and stretched. And so there was always food and room for one more. And my mother's heart was so full of love that she always gave love to any child that came to our home. She made them feel welcomed. She made them feel like they were a part of our family, that they were a part of our brothers and sisters. That's just how we grew up in that small town. So a small town girl moving into a big city and learning about city life. But one thing about it, I always will be that small town girl when it comes to loving individuals and helping them succeed and becoming their personal best. My DNA is from my mother and my father. My father, a coal miner of 37 years, died of a heart attack, but had black lung and went into that coal mine for 37 years to make sure that his children had food on the table and shelter at all times. So, see, I'm a servant leader, but through my DNA, I was born with it. It's in my blood, it's in my heart, and it's what I care about. I care about helping individuals become their personal best at all times. And when my clients come to me, they say, you're not just a career coach. You're beyond a career coach because you coach to the whole person. It's about the body, the mind, and your soul. It's about helping you to understand who you were created to be. It's about helping you to be your personal best at all times. So this is a time of year where it's fall, the foliage, golden yellow, red, orange, green, brown, all mixed together. Because that's what life is all about. It's about mixture. It's about blending. It's about collaboration. And it's about partnering. So I say to you, as we close, meet me back here next week so that you can be a part of this birthday celebration. You can learn even more about Maxine Phillips McKoy. And then you'll hear about the Thompson side, which is my maiden name. I love you. I wish nothing but the best for you for the rest of the week. I look forward to you joining me on Monday as you get a chance to hear from my family, my clients, customers, organizations, what Maxine has done, who she is. And you're not just hearing it from me, but you're hearing it from others. So I leave you with what's magical about your life right now. I see you back here next week at the same time, same place. Only we're going to be celebrating, celebrating, celebrating. See you back then. See you next week. Have a great one. Take care until then.